Hey guys, welcome back to the Marriage and Real Estate Podcast. We're your hosts, Kevin and Aisha Shelton, and we brought some friends.
Hey.
As you can tell, I'm excited to have other people on the set with us because it's usually just me and Kevin going back and forth.
Well, now for 2023, we said we're going to have more guests and more friends and more people. So welcome
Here we are.
to first guest of 2023, kicking it off
Appreciate that.
right.
Yeah.
I think y'all were our first guests ever, actually.
Yeah, we were.
Y'all were our very first.
And we ain't been invited back since. So, you know.
Been waiting to see us. We are thrilled to have you here today. And you know what? It's the Jordan year. So it was meant for y'all to come back this year because great things are going to happen for the Sheltons.
Because it's the
and
world's
Allen.
Jordan year.
It is. Have you not heard that?
I've heard people say random things.
It's the Jordan year. So everybody's going to do great shit this year.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Black people
I like
make
it.
up this
Hey,
craziest.
and I'm going
It's
with
the year
it.
of Jordan, not of the pig or the turtle. It's
No.
the Jordan.
MJ sitting somewhere in Charlotte like, don't put that on
black
me.
people. Only black people associate.
Hey, isn't that great just to think about it? It's like invigorating. It's like it's a Jordan year. We're about to do some really good stuff.
No, I don't look at life like that.
Negative.
I'm not negative. I'm not a sports person. So for me, Jordan year is not that.
You got to find a thing that speaks to you.
Sure.
Listen.
I mean, I just think it's going to
It's
be
not Jordan.
another phenomenal year to
All right.
kick butt and
Everybody
do
look
amazing
up.
things.
Look over on the outside of the set. Michael Jordan right there.
Right. Hey,
Listen,
2-3.
2-3, baby.
We
I
out
have
here.
fun. Nah, look.
Anyway.
Oh, I just got it.
we
Oh my.
What did you think Jordan stand for?
just
I didn't get the
Jordan,
correlation, but I got it now. Well, I mean, I know what Jordan was.
My wife don't
but
care
I
nothing
didn't.
about no sports.
I didn't.
She
I
don't care nothing
understand
about no
sports.
sports.
I get that. The 2-3 in the Jordan. That's boom.
So
23.
So for those of you out there who did not get it, you're welcome.
You are.
So we
Why, you
known
didn't
for
give
a
it
very
to
long time that the alignment in this relationship, like many of our couple friends' relationship, is like this and
It
like
is.
that.
Yes.
Man, I don't even want to derail the conversation, but I'm so glad you brought that up. Can I ask a question?
Sure. Well, first
So-
off, hold on. First off, these are the Allens.
Okay, that's your question.
No.
This is these are the Allens.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, man. So I just really want to know right here with, everybody watching, who are who is your favorite couple?
Ooh.
Oh.
Which one of your children is your favorite child?
Boom.
Oh.
Yeah.
How you going to answer my question with a question?
No, I'm just asking you.
Oh, so that's what we do? We team it?
Well,
Which one of your children?
if you
is
want me
your
to pick, no, I'm just playing.
favorite? So I'm gonna answer. I'll answer.
If
my
I
own
pick, will
question.
y'all pick?
No, I'm gonna answer my own question. All three of my children are my favorite.
Didn't pause.
I'm not no child. I asked you who is your favorite couple, and we need that answer.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'll say.
He sweating, is he?
I did. I gotta.
You sweating?
No.
I have the best
Man.
answer.
No,
but go ahead.
first off, I'm not sweating. My hair is long and I have stuff in my hair.
Okay,
No,
you
I
look-
hate
you
stuff
look fly,
getting in
brother.
my eyes. Anyway, not the point. I love all three of my children. I understand you're not a child. Which one of our favorite couple? You
That's right.
are a favorite couple.
Yes.
Oh,
You guys are a favorite.
Y'all heard that?
yeah.
Get at him.
Everybody's their favorite
And that's
couple.
what I tell all my children.
See?
So, hey,
Very-
just know
Boo.
we love you guys.
That was such a great political answer. Like,
Right.
good job.
And for the record, they even have a vanity couple name because we are affectionately referred to as the Shallons, the Sheltons, and the Allens.
Mhm.
Not everybody has a vanity name.
But a lot of people do.
You are the only
Right.
couple that we have been to Disneyland with.
Okay, boom.
What? I'm sure everybody loves hearing about this stuff.
All right.
It's cool.
All right.
So,
cool.
this is the Marriage and Real Estate Podcast. We
Hey.
bring couples on who are actively doing real estate, and we all have a story to tell. And the audience, right? So, our Marriage and Real Estate Society are people who are thinking about getting into real estate, people who are in the thick of it, and then there's people like us who are debating if we should really do this or not, right? We love what we do, obviously, but this year we wanted to be sure to share other couples' journeys as they go through the marriage and the real estate part. So, would you mind telling me
So,
you got some
Rachel and James Allen.
Yeah.
Please introduce yourselves. Talk a little bit about what you do, how you got into it. What's your story?
Oh man.
Ladies first.
Okay, I'm Rachel Allen, and I am a real estate agent. But I didn't start there. I started as an investor way back when in 2010. Just read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. I was like, oh, I get it. I get the concept. Let me get into it. And originally from New Orleans, and really kind of got into real estate because one of my main focuses was going back to New Orleans to rehab some of the properties that had got destroyed during Hurricane Katrina. And in doing that, flipped a couple of homes, got my real estate license and did it kind of part-time. And when he and I got married in 2014, we came back to Houston. And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this corporate stuff anymore. I'm going to do real estate full time. I want to be a realtor. And here we are.
Hey,
There we
That's
go.
the short story. It can be longer, but
it can be way longer.
What's
but
the James version?
we're at a good spot right now. I think my version is her version. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so what's
what's your
story?
role in it?
Oh, my story. So first, I just want to say, guys, thank you for having us on. It's a pleasure to be here. I really love what you guys are doing in marriage and real estate, the brand, bringing people on, the content, everything that you guys are doing. So thank you so much. This is awesome. This is, top notch. I mean, just sad that I had to kind of beg and plead my way onto the set, but
You're
nonetheless,
not going to let that
Well,
go.
you guys will be a featured guest at our marriage and real estate conference coming at the end of this year.
shout out to the conference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope.
So there we go.
Dope. So my story, very quick and short, is I've, recently got in full time into real estate. I like to say I'm a real estate investor. Some people might say, I'm a wholesaler, or I'm a flipper, or just a landlord. And the answer is they're all right, because I do all of those things. Really, what I do is just help our personal portfolio of investments, and I help other investors, achieve their investing goals, help them make money. And so whether that's me helping them find on and off market deals, providing resources, providing information, whatever I can do, I just really help other investors and people make money. And 3 years ago, I walked away from corporate America. Well, 3.5 years now. I think I was the last out of us to really take that step. Well, I think we were kind of close
No, I think it
together.
was all around the same time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah. And so, did that, and it's been a ride ever since. So here we are.
A journey. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So you are married and you're entrepreneurs together. I know it depends on the day. How is it being married and doing real estate together?
Well,
Give me your PC answer. Thank you.
we don't really do it together. We keep things very separate for the most part, unless we are working very specifically, like I'm representing him. So it's not like, hey, we're doing this venture together. His business is his business. Mine is my business. I make the decisions in my business. He makes the decisions in his business. I give him a lot of feedback that he doesn't want. And
I'm sure he gives you feedback that you don't want to.
Right.
So I guess my question is, and I have just a follow-up question on that. What made you guys, or how did you come to the roles evolving to say, okay, I need my own domain, and I need my own domain to make sure that y'all can keep it kosher.
I think it was
Interesting to explore just real quick. This will be interesting to explore because I know that different couples navigate it different ways. So I'm so excited to hear about how you guys navigate it and why you navigate it in the way that you do.
I would say it was the interest. I mean, I, had interest and I've been intrigued by the real estate investment side, and she's been more of the real estate, being an agent, and building that team and just kind of going down that path. And we've never really, had that same outlook of what we wanted to
not
achieve.
true.
Okay.
Not true. Because we actually started in the wholesaling business together.
Right.
And it was difficult to do together.
You didn't want to do it.
What do you mean I didn't
That's
want to do it?
where
I
the
did it
interest
every day,
diverged.
right?
This is
I know.
So-
you didn't want to do it, and that's why you got out of it.
Right. But it was also because we had difficulty doing it together.
Yeah.
This is a but this
Yeah.
is good. No, y'all, this is really good stuff. And as the year progresses and we bring more couples on, I can't wait to see what comes out of that
Yeah.
because we had the same challenge.
Oh yeah,
Right,
look,
like-
it was fire.
And I think this will be a reoccurring theme with couples in real estate. I think we go into it bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, like, yeah, we're gonna do this together, and then we
Right.
get together, and it's a little bit of
Right.
dukes up.
Right.
Yeah, because it all has to do with, I mean, I could say like just in running any business, like if the expectations aren't clear, they're not set, and people don't wear certain hats, then, you know, like who's the decision maker? Who has the final say? And so especially when you're married, it makes it difficult because
Yeah. You bumping heads with somebody all day at the workplace. You can come home, you're like, they're still here.
The funny thing is, you know, in our day to day, when we bump heads now, we have to be way more, and we're still not that great at it. We have to be way more. How do you put it?
discreet.
Discreet is a good word. We're not that discreet, so we'll be closing
some-
doors and having very stern, stiff conversations.
And y'all's office are like right across from each
Crossing each
other.
other.
So when the
The
doors
good
are
thing is
closed,
when we move in our new office space, we're next to each other,
That's
so
how
we
we
don't
are.
have to deal with, you know,
I actually,
I gotta look at you
I
because I wish
enjoy
I could
looking
put
at
a
you.
blind. I don't want to look
I
at you,
do. I'm like,
especially when we fight. And I
look at
want to
my
like,
husband right
if I
over
could
there.
pull down a shade when I'm mad at her, I want to like,
so petty, so
definitely.
petty.
well, you can always close your door, right?
No, I have a big window next to my door, so that's the problem.
Oh, you still see.
Yeah.
Still see one another.
So
If
could
I see
close-
you over there, like, hi, come over here and talk to me
That's
about it.
basically what it is. I have to like put up something in front of my face. But no, so now that you guys are, you know, because y'all still office together, you still work around each other, do transactions together. Now that you are more set in kind of your roles and realms, and you start to build out your individual team, you said you give him feedback. How do y'all consult with each other on each other's businesses? Are you kind of like de facto coaches to each other, like, hey, I saw you did this, you should do this, or no? Or is it just completely like you do your thing, no feedback, I do my thing, no feedback?
I think it's more of the latter, to be honest with you. I mean, it's just the way we communicate, and I think in marriage and real estate, a theme the word you're going to keep hearing come up is communication, and it's I could say something, or let me put it on me, like, so she could say something to me, and I'm just like, all right, I didn't ask for this, and then you can give me a call. And I'm talking to Kevin. Kevin can tell me the same exact thing. It's just I'll be more receptive to hear it from you than the next person, and it's the same way, vice versa.
Is that
It is.
a product of closeness? Just like the one that you love the most can't be the one to
No,
give
I
you
think it's a product of marriage, and I'd like to say every couple experiences that, right?
Yeah.
Where the wife or your spouse will say something, and then an outside entity will say the same thing, and somehow it's this novel idea.
Right.
I used to get very frustrated by that, and then I just started to thank God for the message, like, Lord, just send a messenger to my husband. It don't have to be me, Lord. It could be anybody. And so I'm just grateful that you get it, regardless of if it came from me or if I've said it before. And I always implore other couples, specifically wives, when we're consorting with one another, like, did they get the message? Because all we want is for them to do what we want them to do, not necessarily that it had to come from us. That, in my opinion, kind of smooths over a whole bunch of stuff. And pro tip, if you really want them to do something that you think
Not
they
the
should
pro
do,
tip,
ask somebody to call your husband and be like,
right?
"Hey, what you should
Plant,
do."
got a
Kevin already
plant.
knows.
Yeah, guys don't. I don't.
Now-
I
now you
want
playing
you to hear
chess.
me say it,
I'm a chess
and I want
player.
you to take it because I said it to you.
Yeah, that's you. And
Yeah.
me, I'm on the line like, hey, can you talk to Kevin?
That's why I get all those random ass calls.
You'll never know where they come from. I got people. I got
Like, hey, did you just
Got a
think
little
about
plan.
this? Be like, oh man, that sounds
He's
like a
"That's the
familiar
second time
idea.
I heard that. I think I
Right.
should do that. Yeah.
My boys just keep calling me to tell me to wash the dishes. Damn, where's that coming from?
Man, wash the dishes, man. Help her out. It'll help. There you go. Y'all can use that.
Aisha, if you want to,
So what does you guys day to day look like? What I know, on the agency side and growing a team, you're more on transaction base, and then for you on the investing side, you're dealing with investors, you're moving and selling properties. But on the day to day, what are you doing? What are your kind of those top line activities that you take care of on a day to day?
On a day-to-day, I mean, I spend majority of my day in the office, behind the scenes, anything from, setting up events, coaching agents, working with clients. So it's a lot of behind the desk work. And I have agents in my team or in my group that will help me do the groundwork or the let work, like taking pictures, transaction coordination. And so that's what my day in the office looks like. From time to time, I'll have to go to like different networking events. I will say, like, if I'm outside of the office, it's more for networking things. That's during the day. I don't know if you want to know like before and after as well, because we got kids too.
Definitely bust it down. Look, that's a part of this marriage life. So what's your evening look like?
I'll start with the morning because we wake up at two different times on most days, but James has actually been up kind of early as well. I'm between 4 and 5 a.m. wake up person.
God.
With my 4 a.m. crew. Sometimes we wake up. Sometimes we don't.
She is not a part of the 4 a.m.
It is. She is. I'm letting her cook, but I'm like,
listen,
I'm letting her cook, but I'm like,
oh, whatever. Are you? How do you know? Because you're still sleeping.
That part. I may not be a part of the 4 a.m. crew today or the last couple of months, but I've been a part of the 4 a.m. crew.
Sure, at some other point in your life, I weigh 220 pounds.
Your membership get renewed every month. So you just said,
dear husband, try not to throw your partner under the bus, specifically on a public platform.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm gonna chill out too then.
We're supposed to be exhibiting partnership, guys.
I thought this was the real.
So that means we gotta be.
Oh.
Yeah, baby, you wake up at 4 a.m. every day. You
or you just don't say anything.
There you go. Do it.
They sat together because they real close friends. I just want to say that.
So yeah, you can just edit that out. Then we good.
Yeah,
What about you? What is a typical day for you?
Man, so I'm just,
Here you go.
like you're saying, I'm just admiring Rachel getting up at 4 or 5 a.m.
Wow.
It's a
dedication, hard work.
Dedication, hard work.
Look, I'll be up.
And then I get up and whenever I do, I guess, and I work out. And really, it's just depends on really deals. If I need to go out and see a deal, or if I'm trying to pick one up virtually or working with someone. And then a lot of stuff lately has been property management because we've had a lot of crazy stuff lately. Mm-hmm. So a lot of just dealing with the rentals here in the city, and so it's.
So I got two questions for y'all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One that I think will be valuable to our listeners, and then the other one that can, I was going to say close us out, but I guess not. So tell me.
You ready for us to go already?
I'm the rapper.
I'm ready.
I wraps it up.
All right.
So tell me, if you were to meet a young couple who, and not even young, if you were to meet a couple and you're like, man, we really admire what you guys do, what advice do you have for us? Give them that advice. There's a his version and her version, so y'all don't have to collaborate. Your advice from your perspective and your advice from your perspective.
Man, communication and set expectations as much as possible. It's never going to be completely aligned 100%, but just communication, I think. That's where, we're sitting up here joking or whatever, going back and forth. Me and my wife, talk mess and, back and forth. But I think where we really get bump heads and actually have, those hard conversations is when there's a breakdown in the communication, whether she may have communicated clearly, but I heard something differently, or vice versa, or, making sure that I understand exactly what she's trying to, communicate to me. So, and the follow-up and just being completely clear about that. So I would just say,
I'm at you with the Willow Smith.
That's the second time you said, I really need to go watch Red Table Talk because I
didn't know what she was talking about. I was just like, yeah, that's dope. Yeah.
Somebody out
like-
there gonna get it. Have you ever seen the Red Table?
Yeah,
And she
I don't
goes,
remember.
whenever somebody says something real deep.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah.
Okay, so that was a good thing.
It was. Rachel.
Okay.
No, I mean, I think like just really creating like goals together, understanding what you're working towards, because if you're really not on the same page, you can't really start making those same movements together. And then understanding like who's responsible for what. So I think a lot of couples go into it thinking like, all right, let's do this together. Here's a decision. And they like weigh out like, all right, here's the good and the bad. But somebody has to have ultimate decision making power over that one thing, whatever it is, because there's only two of you. So if you agree with one thing, I agree with another, then how do you break that tie? So right now, like the rental properties that we have, James is taking care of them. There's lots of things I don't agree with, but at the end of the day, I'm like, look, that's your decision. So I'll give you my input, but if you want to do it, like that's the way you do it.
That's good.
And I mean,
So let me ask a question. When you guys decide to add a new property to the portfolio, how does that process start? Does it go, hey, yep, we want to add more passive cash flow. Let's start looking for something. Is it a deal that just comes across your desk? Maybe we could take this down. What's that thought process? And then how do you guys go from that to executing it? Like,
I think it's first starts with the goals, like Rachel said.
yeah, I was gonna say, we
What
actually
are our goals? Like, ideally, how many rentals will we want to pick up? How many flips do we want to do in a year? Or what, and what's the purpose for them? And then, are we looking for cash flow? Are we looking for something with high appreciation to maybe, do some other things later down the line? So being clear about the goals, of why we want to purchase that property. Now, sometimes something just comes across the desk and it's just like, yo,
yeah, why not?
So-
Yeah.
do this. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, so we had one of those, come across the desk last year. Had no intentions of picking it up, but
Let the numbers lead and go ahead and take it down.
So I'll tell you and share this. I think Kevin and I talked about this, but share this with another couple. When you said setting goals and planning together, it's easier to move a couch with two people, right? So you grab one side, I grab one side, we move in the same direction. When we're not setting goals together as a couple, specifically in our real estate business, but even in our marriage, what we're essentially doing is picking up the couch, and because we didn't communicate which direction we're going in, the couch gets up and you move this way and I move this way.
Oh, you
and
good.
We're not effective.
Yeah, that's a
right?
good
She good.
visual.
So it's really important that we thank you, Will Smith. So it's really important that we are setting goals together, and anybody who follows our journey knows that Kevin and I set goals together every year for the following year. I know that you guys do that too, but it's so essential that y'all pick up that couch together and move in the same direction. And I know so many couples that are like, he do his thing, I do my thing. And I'm like, y'all are totally working against each other, because y'all can move so much more furniture from here to there if you guys collaborated on it. And that doesn't mean that you don't have your piece of the business and this piece of the business, but they work in tandem.
Yeah, and I would,
to where you want to go.
and I will clarify that when we say we work in our separate spaces, it's more from a decision making capacity. Like, that's yours, this is mine, but we work together a lot. But I have a very specific role in his business as his agent, and vice versa. So
Yeah.
No, which I think is important, because one of the reasons why we kind of bumped heads, especially initially in our business, was I was trying to sell them all, she was trying to build them all, and it just didn't work, right? So she's telling me, oh, you should hang drywall, and I'm like, well, you need to host the open house, and we're clashing like this. So having those specific roles and having that kind of division so that you guys can be in command of your own station, it helps, and also it gives you kind of that unilateral buy-in to say we're going in the same direction, but we each got our part to steer in that general direction.
and also just on the goals too, like James comes across a lot of good deals, right? But they don't always meet our specific goals of what we're trying to accomplish. So, it would be wonderful if we could hold every single one, but sometimes, if that's not our
You want to make
focus,
money
like,
too.
holding is the long game. We got to think about the short game too.
Yeah. No, that makes
Because
sense.
don't nothing beat a check but a check.
All right. So wait a minute. So what advice would you guys give a couple? We didn't hear from you.
That's a good question.
No,
You miss it?
you piggybacked off of ours. Would it be the communication and goal setting?
It would be. I think that when you come together and decide the direction that you want to go in, and I mean, it's the same thing for money too. And we have this conversation with other couples too. I'm like, put all that money together. You guys can go further when y'all have one big pot, as opposed to this your money and this my money. You gonna put your money in and my money in. I'm like, put all that money together. We have greater power together. So my thought process is you need to come together. And we also meet couples who one spouse is interested in investing, the other person they need to convince. That's still picking up that couch and going in a different direction. So you need to work
That's
on
how we work.
what direction are we going to go in together, and y'all need to agree. So it can't just be one person who's gun-ho to take this real estate investing journey. It needs to be both of y'all, and y'all have to agree to it.
I think for me, my advice would be play to your strengths, right? And I think I tell people that all the time. It's like, whatever you do well, do that, and fill in the gaps for the other parts that you don't do so well. So I'm bad with money, right? Like I'm horrible with money. So I give her all the money, like, hey, do that, right? But I can go make it. So for me, I concentrate on the production side of that, right? And I think throughout our relationship, we've tried to find the balance in those areas of achieving what we want to achieve by utilizing our strengths, because and we'll get to the spark, fire, log idea. But for me, I don't need to have all the ideas. If you give me a good enough idea, including this podcast or Park Street or whatever we've done, she'll say, hey, this is a really good idea. We can do this, and surround me with the resources, and then let me go to work. And then I like that, right? Like, then I'm comfortable in my space to know, okay, I got a clear direction. I can execute. I can make it better. I improve it. But I didn't need to have that initial kind of concept. So bridging off of that, so there's a concept that we call spark, fire, log. And I know we introduced it a little bit to you guys before. And for the audience, we talked about it on our last episode. But very short cliff notes. A spark is the ideator, somebody who has that grand vision, that bigger kind of aha moment. A fire is a person who's a self-starter, gets it done, the one who's going to take those next steps to make it a reality. And the logs are the supportive role to glue it all together, to really make sure that the bills are paid, the mortgage is stable, and we're moving in this direction. And they don't necessarily need to have that front seat driver role. They're the ones to make sure that the car stays on the road, right? So in that, we always like to ask couples, especially now, starting with this episode, which are you, from your own opinion, right? What's your opinion of your spouse role? And then how do y'all work together to make that fire burn?
In the context of our marriage, correct?
In the context of your marriage, your business, life.
Okay, so from my perspective, I don't know. It's interesting because I think we share a whole lot of roles. I mean, I think
Be all of them.
I feel like I'm all of them. I feel like James is all of them too. So I mean, that's not like he's none of them. But
Well, since you have to pick one.
if I had to pick one, I
Sounded
would
very
say
sparky to
I
me.
would be the fire. I would be a fire.
I agree.
So
she's a fire. I'm a spark.
I would say he would be a spark. And
But we kind of split them logs up. You take a log, I take a log. We kind of do it like that, and then get a whole supporting cast. Like, sorry, we were talking about prior to rolling. I mean, where it be
childcare,
grandparents and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So in that, when you guys look at your life and say, okay, here's where we want to go, and here's the resources we need to add to the table, what are some of the things that you guys see yourself needing in the next 5 to 10 years?
a nanny. No.
Okay.
Thank you, Aisha.
Okay, there we go.
Thanks.
It'll change your life. You know what? Kevin was against the name.
I think I told you
He's
that.
not against it.
I told you that.
Let me tell you something about people.
I fought that thing,
You
man.
find the money. Like, it comes. Money flows
Look.
to me.
Look, when I
saying.
tell you, I fought that thing for a long time, and then I was like, we're gonna split the baby. We're gonna do 3 days a week. The first week, I said we need 5 days. That was like, okay, we need a full time, because it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Because you can't take back time.
as your life ratchets up, you need the assistance. But I also feel like I have more higher quality time with my kids, right? So there are people who are they with their kids all day, but they're yelling, they're tired, they're frustrated, and it comes out at the kids, right? So if I have a nanny that does the things that frustrate me, the time that I do spend with my children is so, in my opinion, so much better than people who are stuck. I'm not stuck. We go out, we do things. I enjoy it. I'm excited, ecstatic. Like, oh my God, I get to see the kids right now because somebody's been doing the dishes, giving baths, like all the things that we have to do to live. But when you have the ability to offload some of those responsibilities, mostly because of the work that we do, not just because we're lazy, because we working, but y'all working.
Yeah. So James, what about you? Okay, we got nanny for her.
Oh, I got more, but
no. Well, I mean,
no, he got
More of the resources that we need
to get to where you want to go. So when you look at your life in the next 5 to 10 years, who are the people you need to surround yourself with to achieve that? The logs that you need to help support you in that goal.
From a business standpoint, just more back office. I mean, just like the day-to-day bookkeeping and all that kind of stuff, because like right now it's a very lean show, and so just alleviating a lot of the back office work within the relationship. Though I think the biggest thing right now is I'm fighting the night nanny or whatever, but it is childcare, because we are pulled in so many different directions as far as events or travel for work or whatever it is. So I think it's necessary, but I don't know if we need a nanny. I'm just like, yo, let's get a nice little stable of babysitters that we can call like when we need them.
Yeah,
but the nanny like, on salary though, like,
right? I mean, we get that, but it's like certain goals. So like, yeah, we could just go all in and get all the things we need, and maybe that could help us get to where we want to go. But it's kind of about like filtering it in, because at the end of the day, like we have certain financial goals that we want to achieve, and so it's this constant trying to balancing it out. Like maybe putting the resources into the right thing so that it can help you expand and grow. But
right,
see, I think about it different, because I feel like if you had that you can grow faster, right? Like you have a smoother pathway to grow because you have this, right? And it's obviously got to make sense, but it also is how you look at it too.
Yeah,
it might not be financial either. It could be other kind of resources that aren't necessarily. You could be like, okay, I want to join this mastermind group. Like I know you got a lot of value from mentorship in the last several years. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you need to take you to that next level? Across the board,
I would still that. I think masterminding as well, to where with the right individuals that are have the business that I am aspiring to build. 3 years now, I am looking to build that team and build out the office a little bit more, back office and like front facing. So. Yeah, I think it's the mastermind as well. It's still that. And I think that's for me.
I'm looking for 2 buyer's agents for the Rachel Allen Real Estate Group. So
there you go.
Let's go.
We are
real estate
hiring.
Agents out there.
Hit me up.
I was just like, nah. I'm joking.
No, but that would I mean, like James said, just the office support. So when you're building a team and growing a team, and just being able to have those other resources so that you can grow and scale.
Yeah.
Because you didn't really say, like, in your business, you're more of like a spark, right? In your business? Well, you have to wear so many hats, right?
Well, actually, I feel like I'm more spark fire right now, and I'm very much so in fire mode because I have all of these sparks, but like they're sitting literally in my notes section of my phone, but like slowly building out the systems around it. So naturally, I think I'm more of a spark, but I have to be the fire until I find the fire. But I have some really solid logs.
But that's what's missing from your team right now. What's missing is that person. And I've had somebody on my team like that who was very much like, she takes whatever I give her, this raw material, and she just makes it great. It just comes out great. That's what you need so that you can operate in your full capacity as a spark and give out all those good ideas so that they can really set your
take it and go.
fire.
Sorry guys, I'm extending the park in here. I just don't want to make sure my car's out there. while
I'm
we're
sure you'll be fine.
I think you'll be just fine.
Oh, okay.
Clearly could talk to you guys all day long. And
We do.
Right.
I do. But, we like to keep our episodes in bite-sized. No.
Short and sweet. Yeah, I'm not.
Okay,
I was waiting for the word that you were looking for,
Yeah,
other
I was
than
looking
bite
forward
size.
to it. We like to keep our episodes short and sweet so that our audience can consume them very quickly, but get high value information from it. And so we hope that you'll come back, especially
Do you?
especially since we have been. This has been held against us for the last 2 years. Is that what COVID?
3.
Yeah.
Wow, 3 years. And so we hope that you will come back, but we want to thank you for being our inaugural guest in the year of 2023, the best year, the Jordan year.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay, can we get some points?
Hey.
And I want to thank you guys for liking and subscribing to the podcast. So smash that like button and hit that notification bell so you can catch the latest and greatest episode of Marriage and Real Estate with more amazing guests like the Allens. And we want to take the opportunity to give you guys a chance to speak to the audience, tell them where they can find you, learn more about what you do, your company, your hiring, your company, and give them the news, give them the info.
Sure. Rachel Allen Real Estate Group. You can find us on Instagram at raregroup_EXP Realty, and also on Eventbrite. We do a lot of realtor education. Every Tuesday we have a lunch and learn, and so find us, Rachel Allen Real Estate Group, on Eventbrite.
Dope. Yeah. Southern House Buyers is the name of my company. You can reach me on Instagram at Southern House Buyers LLC. And then my personal one is Mr._James Allen. We're looking to build a team out. So if you're looking to get into, investing, and you're ambitious, and looking to talk to people, come holler at me.
And also check out the Masterminds podcast.
Oh yeah, the Masterminds podcast, which I've had you guys on.
We've all been featured on the podcast. So
Yep.
please, it's an amazing podcast, long form, lots of great stories. If you ever want to hear our story, Aisha shares her story. I share mine in separate episodes, but amazing content you guys are putting out. Of course, in the realtor world, top tier, doing your thing. And then, of course, Southern Buyers. That's mine.
We'll put your information down in the show notes if you want to reach out to James and Rachel. But thank you again for being on the Marriage and Real Estate podcast.
Thanks for having us. We really appreciate it, despite everything that he throws in your face. We really appreciate it.
We appreciate you.
The texts are going to be a lot, more, warming,
Fantastic.
since,
Less hostile.
Yeah,
Probably,
less
probably
hostile,
not, though. Just saying.
This has been the Marriage and Real Estate podcast. We're out.
Yep.